The myth just cracked. The carefully built narrative, the non-stop headlines, the social media hype, it's all come crashing down. The 2025 WNBA All-Star vote revealed something the media desperately tried to hide. Fans aren't buying the story of Angel Reese as the league's new queen. Despite months of relentless promotion, Reese couldn't even crack the top 10 in fan voting. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, she crushed it again. This wasn't just a gap. This was an earthquake that split fantasy from fact and exposed the league's biggest illusion. You can sell a dream, but you can't fake greatness. Not when fans are paying attention. For over a year, Angel Reese has been paraded around as the future of women's basketball. Commercials, magazine covers, endorsement deals, you name it, she was in it. The WNBA positioned her as not just an athlete, but a symbol. The supposed answer to every marketing challenge the league has ever faced. Reese herself leaned into it hard. From courtside interviews to national campaigns, she made it clear, "I'm the reason people are watching. My legacy will last." She wasn't shy about it either, telling the world she was the moment. And to her credit, she is charismatic, confident, and unafraid to speak her mind. But confidence alone doesn't fill seats, and it certainly doesn't win over fans who actually watch the games. Because while the headlines screamed her name, the scoreboards were telling a much different story. When the first wave of All-Star votes came in, the truth hit like a brick. Caitlin Clark pulled in 516,000 votes, more than anyone else in the league. Reese, she didn't even make the top 10. She sat in 13th place with just 173,000. That's not a close race. That's a blowout. And keep in mind, this isn't just about casual popularity. All-Star votes reflect who fans actually care about, who they'll show up for, who they believe deserves the spotlight. And if the media thought they could script a new superstar, the fans made it clear they write the final chapter, and this chapter didn't include Angel Reese. So how did this happen? How did the most publicized rookie in recent WNBA history fall so far behind? Simple. Her rise was built on branding, not basketball. From the start, Reese's fame came off the court. Social media presence, massive, endorsement deals, lucrative, media coverage, wall to wall. Forbes even ran pieces claiming she, along with Aja Wilson, was the driving force behind the WNBA's growth, conveniently leaving out Caitlin Clark, who was out there shattering college viewership records and drawing sellout crowds before she ever stepped on a pro court. This wasn't a coincidence. It was a choice. Certain media outlets chose to elevate a story instead of a stat sheet. They wanted a symbol more than a scorer. And that choice is now aging like milk. Because while Reese was starring in commercials, Clark was starring in box scores. While Reese was talking legacy, Clark was building one. Night after night, assist after assist, logo 3 after logo 3. And fans, they noticed. You can't fool people who are paying attention. While ESPN, Forbes, and CBS pushed their preferred narrative, fans quietly clicked their votes, tuned into games, and started having conversations that the mainstream press refused to cover. And now those conversations are loud. Loud enough to crash through the fantasy and put the spotlight back where it belongs, on performance. Let's talk numbers. Angel Reese is shooting just 30.9% from the floor. That's not only bad, that's second worst among 64 qualified WNBA players. And she's a post player. That's supposed to be the highest percentage position in the sport. Players in the paint are expected to take smart, close-range shots. So when you're missing more than 2/3 of them, something's seriously off. Then there's her lack of blocks, just 2 in the entire season so far. Compare that to other post players, and it's night and day. Yes, she leads the league in rebounds. That's her strength. But even that can't mask the glaring weaknesses. She's a one-dimensional player in a multi-dimensional league. And yet, the media tried to sell her as the whole package. A generational talent, a culture-changing presence. But what happens when the actual gameplay doesn't support the storyline? You get exactly what we saw, 13th place. And while Reese struggled to find her rhythm, Other players with balanced games soared past her. Aaliyah Boston, efficient, reliable, 447,000 votes. Kiki Arifon, quiet double-doubles, 213,500 votes. Even role players like Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell cracked the top 10. These are players who fill out the stat sheet, contribute on both ends, and let their games do the talking. And fans responded loudly. This isn't just about Reese. It's about how trust is built and lost. The WNBA, desperate for a mainstream breakthrough, hitched its wagon to a player who wasn't ready for the wait. And the result? Fans pushed back. They voted with their remotes, their eyes, and their instincts. They didn't fall for the narrative. They demanded receipts. And Caitlin Clark delivered them, night after night, record after record. While Reese's highlight reel was mostly college flashbacks and mic'd-up moments, Clark's was a living, breathing documentary of dominance. Even the voting system itself couldn't save the media's pick. Fan votes make up 50% of the total. Players and media get 25% each. With that kind of fan power, Reese still couldn't make it into the top 10, even after begging her followers to vote, even after every major outlet gave her coverage. The fans still said no. That's not a slight, it's a verdict. A reminder that actual basketball matters more than branding, and that you can't manufacture legacy in a lab of press releases. Let's not pretend this is a fluke either. This is the second straight year that Caitlin Clark has led the league in all-star fan voting. Last year, she surged past 700,000 by the end of the cycle. This year, she's on pace to crack 1 million. That's not hype, that's history. The people are watching, and they're not confused. They know who the star is. And it's not the one with the most commercials. It's the one with the most points, most assists, most leadership, and most heart. Now let's ask the question. The media won't. Can Angel Reese bounce back? Sure, she's got grit. She plays hard. Her rebounding is elite. But elite rebounding alone doesn't build a franchise. And it certainly doesn't carry you to all-star starter status. To do that, you need more efficiency, more offense, more adaptability. Reese has shown flashes, but the fans want fire. And they're not going to reward players just because they got a shoe deal or landed on a magazine cover. They want winners, stat sheet killers, game changers. And here's the kicker. The WNBA still has time to listen. This vote was a message, not just to Reese, but to every executive and marketing team in the league. Build stars from the ground up, not from social trends. Support players who show up and deliver, not those who simply trend on Twitter. Because in the long run, real greatness always breaks through. You can't suppress it, and you can't fake it. So what happens next? Will the league keep doubling down on hype, or will it shift towards substance? Will Angel Reese evolve and become the player her brand says she is? Or will this be the moment fans look back on as the turning point? The point where the illusion officially shattered? Because no matter how many followers you have, how many ads you land, or how often your name trends on social media, one thing remains true. The game doesn't lie. And this time, neither did the fans. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. What surprised you most about the all-star voting? Are fans getting it right? Or is the media still trying to rewrite the scoreboard? Either way, one thing is crystal clear. The myth of manufactured stardom just got exposed, and it wasn't even close.